What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It's a Wednesday, which of course is our weekly update for Rugby 25, although that may soon be changing. Keep your eyes peeled for this one. As usual, we'll do all the timestamps in the timeline of the video and in the description as well, so you can jump to any particular area of the video you want to. A lot of stuff going out today. The FAQ page has been busy this morning for anyone who's been paying attention to it over there. A lot of stuff going on. J&T, for all intents and purposes, it seems to have been that J&T's just been let off the leash and said, you go make Rugby 25 work, go improve stuff. And to be honest, he really is. There's a lot of communication coming from him now. We're finding out a lot more about the game. We've got a lot of extra stuff coming. Before we jump into the actual patch notes themselves, I want to just take a quick look at what came out on the Twitter page, where we've had a bit of an update about what's going to be happening with the updates going forward. So they've put out that the patch notes came out, but they've also put a little statement out with it, basically saying that they are going to be releasing a roadmap very, very soon, which is something people have been asking for, and I think we were promised like prior to launch and never came. But you know, J&T's on it now. It's being sorted. But they've also mentioned that they're going to be going to 3 weekly updates. Now, first time I read this, I thought that meant 3 updates a week. My God, I'm not going to be able to stop. I'm going to be doing so many videos. No, what they mean is 1 update every 3 weeks. Now, this has been put on the FAQ page. It was basically saying it's to give them a greater length of time to work on the game so all the updates can be larger. It doesn't mean they're going to scrap hotfixes and things in between. So if something breaks in a big one, they will still do little things to fix those things so they can have each one. But the idea that they can work on larger aspects of the game as opposed to making these little tweaks, which sounds like a positive thing. I also live in the real world. I am sure there may be other things. I'm, not blind to the concept that Rugby 26 is coming out soon. AFL came out. I'm sure they have limited resources in a team and workload, and being able to pull someone off for, a couple of days onto a different game is not going to hurt them over there. So, there's probably other things going on. But, the concept of if they go to 1 update every 3 weeks, larger updates, larger improvements. I think that sounds like a positive thing, but we'll have a little bit less content. I'll have to come up with some other stuff to do with this game because we're going to go down from that 1 update a week. But let's jump into the patch notes for this week's update then, because there's some fun little things to take a look at in this one. So starting out with the resolved lineup conflicts. Resolved modified teams conflicting with shipped teams, causing unusable lineups. Now, I don't know what that means. You can't create a custom team using the real players, so I assume it's not like a case of you're chucking 2 of the same players against each other. But it might be that because you can modify existing teams in the team lineup, it might be that people are adding custom creations into existing teams, and the game doesn't know which person is real and which one wasn't. So try and do that. I don't really know how to test that one. I'm going to have to go on that. If you do know, drop it down in the comment section if you can test that yourself, because I've never messed about with it other than changing the starting lineups for teams. I've never manually added in the custom players into existing teams, only the custom teams on my end. Balanced 50-22. AI now adjusts 50-22 plays proportionally by match difficulty. That's a positive, yeah. Literally playing on easiest or hardest, they were smashing 50-22s for fun. Kick power better reflects the player's skill as well, so you won't be getting the 30 rated teams knocking 60-meter 50-22s from way downtown on easiest. Hopefully that will have been adjusted. It was, it is cheating. It does feel unfair, but at least it's allowed the AI to do something. I've actually enjoyed the last, 2 weeks or so, actually doing some of the Lions games and doing a little stuff in the background as well. Been playing it, been kind of enjoying seeing that the AI is putting a bit of pressure on me. I am getting to the stage now where I'm once again hammering the AI. So I they've got to have another level of difficulty if they're going to lose the ability to just cheat at the 50-22s every single time. Balance the punt kicks. Punt kick power better reflects your player skill. Doesn't say they fix the thing of the bar coming back and doing that. I've got a terrible feeling that's just part of the game now. But they've adjusted how the player's skill works, which I'm going to guess means the longer distance for longer kicking, or a longer time to get that kick away with the better kicks. Still feels like, on the face of it, we're just reading the text, feels like it's going to be that issue of, if you're playing as a 60 rated team, you're going to really struggle to get kicks away in this game, because not only is the other team going to have higher rated skill to kick it better, but they've got that thing that bounces back towards you. It makes an issue. Hopefully that will get changed or looked at, and maybe that makes it a little bit better, but we'll test out today. Standardized kick targeting. Now, J&T even named me in the FAQ page on this one. They've obviously been listening to enough of my stupid complaints about things. I know, but yeah, standardized the kicking direction and input and added invert options. So from the kickoffs, from kicking at T, kicking to touch, all these things where you had to use the analog stick to judge how far away you want to kick, box kicks as well. They were the opposite way round depending on the type of kick. It made no sense to me, and it made it very bizarre. Immediately as you started doing it, you had to sort of adjust your brain to what you wanted to do. Some of them were the wrong way round, depending on if you're left-brained or right-brained, is whether you want to play with inverted or not. They have now unified and standardized the kick directions with your analog stick and have given you the option to invert them to your own choice. Fantastic! That has been listened to. Again, this is one of the things I said. If J&T's, I do think Crusher, he's listening. Big and listening. We've said it for a year. The game has been out for like a year now since early access launch. And it feels like these things are being listened to. And I know it might just be me mentioning it and complaining too much. But you know what? It's good to see that those things get listed. Because those little changes, little quality of life things can just take away from losing the engagement with the game every single time that you have to do a different type of kick or so. And I think it's very, very useful. Improved commentary. Resolved unusual triggers and added new lines. Are we playing with commentary on today? You give it a go. I'm not one for playing with the commentary on, but we give it a look and see how it plays out. Improved stability as always on the Rugby 25 updates as well. So first one to check out is of course in the gameplay options we do now have the invert kick controls. I've currently got that disabled. The issue is I don't know which way around it wants it to be, so I don't know if I do want it enabled or not till we get in the game. But they have now got the inverted kick control, so all the kicks are now going to be one way. Invert them, yes or no. Your own decision. I think that's a really positive change. I think that's a good shift. Right, let's choose some teams. Now, I did have a request over in Discord about 2 weeks ago that I haven't been able to do. I actually want to go as the away team for a specific reason. We'll get into that a little bit later. So, they have requested to do, going up against the Scarlets was the away team, but going over to the Pro D2, which is an area I don't play a lot of the Pro D2 in this. I don't know a lot about the Pro D2 myself. Where is Pro D2? So these are the two teams that were requested. I specifically want to do the away team to touch on something else, but I actually might be swapping it at halftime. Anyway, so they've got the stadium as the Stade de France, as opposed to... Do they not actually have the Pro D2... Oh, Pro D2 stadiums aren't actually in. They do have the top 14. They don't have the Pro D2 stadiums in. And I think one of the main reasons it was requested is because they wanted to see the actual stadium, but I don't think the Pro D2 stadiums are in, unfortunately. So there's no way to do that. So we'll chuck it on a different stadium. We'll chuck it on hardest, and we'll get this game kicked off. Oh, I've got to put commentary on. I completely forgot to put commentary. All right, so I forgot to put commentary on. So let me go back and chuck commentary on. Hopefully they're not going to talk over me too loudly. Okay, they do the names correctly so as well. The commentary was something I didn't like in this game. I'll sort of dip out a little bit here and there so you guys can hear the commentary. If I hear some interesting lines as well, I will talk about them.
Joining me in the commentary box is Jonathan Davis. Jiffy, what are your thoughts on this one?
Cheers, Andrew. When the stage is set and what the game we have on our hands. There should only be one team here today, Scarlets. Should be too strong. They're always strong up front, possess a really great attacking backline.
Well, that is an
okay, hang on. There actually seem to be a little... Now, again, I haven't played with commentary on for a good while. I've played on the Xbox with commentary on a little bit because I'm not here talking about the video and stuff. So, actually hearing the lines is going to be a little bit better. I have always felt in this game that the commentary feels like someone is reading off a piece of paper, and some of and I'm sure that's, you know, the guys doing the commentary lines are not actors, you know, they're ex-rugby players, right? So they're not going to be able to smash out, you know, paragraphs of text and make it sound completely natural. But this game in particular does make it sound like they are really reading off a script, because sometimes the lines go on for too long, and a lot of the cues were wrong as well. Like, you'd kick a beautiful penalty into touch and you get a line saying, "Oh, he's messed that one up, he's kicked it dead." You're like, yeah, that's literally how penalties work, Jiffy. You'd expect it to know how that works. Let's go on another charge here with our...
Tries to free it up.
I'm going to try and keep an ear out for the content. We're going to get a little bit annoying. Oh, we've had a turnover against us there. So we're going to be looking at the 50-22s. Oh, I want to be testing the punt kicks out as well. Let's have a look at some of those. Right. As it lands in the arm, let me just let Josh McLeod run that one in.
The ruck is formed, trying to strip the ball in that tackle. Interception!
That is now two counter rucks we've had against us, even though I feel like I've definitely had men at both. Right, let's get out to Johnny Williams.
He He feeds one through, looking for touch.
Still
Tackle.
jittery.
Receives the pass.
Still not quite getting there. Still got tackled. Still got the kick away after the tackle. Doesn't feel like that's been shifted
He's missed the tackle.
wildly. Oh, they've broken through my line here. Let me cycle back around there with Tom Rogers. Putting me under pressure early on.
They try to strip the ball. Pushes it on wide.
Oh, God, we're going to go wide here, boys.
His own player with that ball.
Knock on. Maybe not.
Towards halfway.
Good catch. Tried to kick it over him. And you're like, nope, I'll just catch that one. Didn't get any height on my kick at all. Still a minor issue with the player selection in this game.
Makes the tackle.
Is that a new animation or did something break? I mean, there's got to be some sort of illegal play here to literally be crawling on your knees across. I like the little. I mean, that is a leg drive, right? That is how you get a leg drive working. When you are so low to the ground, your knees are touching the ground, your Achilles tendons are stretched to the absolute limits, and on your tippy toes, you manage to have the sheer power to drive a player backwards and actually get back to your feet. Incredible strength. Fair play. Maybe I should play with the Pro D2 more. These guys are doing some superhuman things at the minute. Now, this is where I would maybe be expecting them to go for one of these 50-22s. Maybe they're going to back out of it a little bit more. Some very interesting passes. See if we can make a contest for that one, actually. A little bit isolated there, maybe. Nope, still can't get our hands on that one. And get off the line quickly. Oh, I really hope they do add the ability to just run your own interception lines like that. Like, I timed that really nicely. And being able to get on the ball, I think that would be really nice to be able to just pick a pass like that. So still 50-22, still a 50-22 happening, but at least it wasn't a dink into your own 5-meter line. They actually had to sort of grubber kick that, well, not grubber kick, but, you know, a little chip across the ground to eventually get there. Right, let's go long here. I actually do want to get tries, so I want to have a look at the kicking and stuff in this game. So let's drop this one down. So box kicks are how I want them to be. Further away is further away, closer is closer. Let's try and put this on a dime over here. Try and get my winger onto it if the game will let me select a winger. Oh! And the ball actually drifted into touch. Even though I absolutely selected it to go inside the area of play. That feels like a little bit of a shift, because the wind didn't really affect kicks. It basically landed exactly where you took a box kick anyway. So... Oh, wow, we stole that one as well. So that might be a little shift for them, which is, you know, not a bad thing, because the kicks were a little bit too exactly where you wanted them. Right, let's try and make a break here, because Sam Costello's got all the room in the world. No, he hasn't. There's got to be nobody in that fullback position, right? Let's go for a kick over the top. Oh, no, there is someone back there, but we've got a decent little kick away. Quick line out. How do quick line outs look at the minute? Oh. How do quick line outs look at the minute? Oh, my line out. One update every 3 weeks, is it? That's what we're looking at now. Okay. Quick lineouts could be struggling. 30 minutes in, still struggling to get tries at the minute. Want to test out some of these new kicks. We only had one 50-22, which from playing some of my Lions games and stuff is much less than what I was experiencing in the last update. So at least there's a positive. They're not just constantly going for those 50-22s outrageously. I also feel like I've seen more of those drive tackles. I forgot to mention that the drive tackles were something that were added in the last update, and I was like, I honestly just didn't see any. If you watch the video put up on the channel, that was the Lions versus the Argentina game, there was a few tackles in that I was like, I think this is now a drive tackle. I would still like them to have a bit more impact. It's not really like a button combination from my experience. It's not any particular B or Y or any sort of hit. It's just more, you just kind of have a percentage chance of being able to get quite a dominant tackle. Oh, that's a good little line break there by the inside centre. We'll take that one back. Oh, now we've got numbers. Well, until I throw my numbers away. Go for a little inside pass. But yeah, you can actually now get like some quite large tackles that actually sort of push the players back, and you gain a few extra meters in like in a dominant tackle. Oh, Alec Hepburn with a thigh injury there. Try and keep attacking wide. We want to get a score, right, before... I feel like I have no stamina at all. All my players feel like they're dead on their feet. Everyone's still standing very, very deep. Positioning still not brilliant. I'm going to try and get right in the corner. Oh, that's a good tackle. Making a nuisance there.
Good vision. Passes long.
Oh well, Plumtree. Easiest try in the world for you there. Just dot that one down. But yeah, 50-22 seem to, unless we can't test the line-out conflict. The punt kicks... I'll do more. I'll do more punt kicks in the second half. I feel like this has been quite a lax first half. So, yes, here we go. Further away, closer, closer. Oh, it's all coming up brilliant now with the kicking thing. I understand as well that a lot of people might think that feels like a really small nitpick for Mad Dragon to constantly point out, but little things like that really, for me, detract from the game you're playing. If you have to keep going, oh, it's one of these kicks and you've got to invert and go the right way. Having them standardised is just... It just should be the thing.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough in the second half. Not only will they have to deal with the opposition, but they will also have to deal with the lively home crowd.
Very true indeed, Jiffy. So far, they have done a really good job.
Yep, let's hope they can keep it up.
The commentary lines do sound better. I am going to turn them off. I am going to turn them off just for the second half, because they are it's very hard to talk over them because they're so loud in my ears as well. But they actually do sound like they're a little bit better. It feels like they've got a little bit more depth to them about what they're talking about, and you know, talk about halftime there as well. I've also noticed the game has also done a couple of automated subs. Oh, let's look at this. Exactly how I want it. Further away is further away. Oh, brilliant. Well done, J&T and the team over there for fixing this. Something that I think should have been in at launch, but it's here. It's only taken a year from early access to eventually be in, but we've got there. But yeah, I did notice from playing some other games that the injuries were getting automatically subbed off for like players. Looks like it hasn't happened to us here because we still got our injured players on. Mauls still not bad. They haven't said they fixed them, but that thing where you can just hold down the trigger and it sort of breaks the maul is still there. Right, we're going to do some more kicks. We've got to do some more punt kicks. We want to get a little bit more of a feeling for how the kicking works. And we also want to test out the AI. In fact, we might actually swap teams so I can let them do the 50-22s as well. Let's just pick that one up. I'm not going to risk the scrum just constantly collapsing. No, tackle me, please. Thank you very much. Right, let's go for a little kick here. We're aiming for this bottom corner below my head, or like right at the very bottom. Let's see if we can put this right in the corner. Go along. Can they pick up the ball? They actually do pick up the ball. That's nice. Let's see if we can put pressure on that one. 3 people in, 3v1, 4v1. Not able to do that. I still don't understand the logic at the rucks. I still have no idea what wins and what doesn't. They got a nice little kick away there. Right, we're going to try a bit of a set play. We're going to go off from the lineouts. We're going to play it out wider. Then we're going to kick into the other corner and see if we can get a line out in the far corner. So let's go long. We'll go... It just still feels so clunky to me. I don't know. I don't know what the change was that came in like a month ago, where they changed it so that the kicking power bar would like come back and stop and jutter about, but it isn't there. I honestly can't say I notice any difference in this kicking. It feels exactly the same as what it did. In fact, I feel like I'm struggling more to get those kicks away. And you say, well, it's based on the player's skill. Well, the number 10 at Scarlets is Sam Costello, who's a Welsh international fly half. Like, all right, Wales, but it's still expect him to get some kicks into some corners and get some decent power, some distance, and able to sort of get that away. Still doesn't really feel like we're able to do that. Let me drop him back again.
It's taken back.
That was full power. I mean, God, how far did he kick that? That was full power. Oh, it was number 11, to be fair, not Sam Costello. Full power on quite an... I'm not aiming for the halfway line there. That is full power. They got to there. I'm not joking. I have played rugby. I can kick a ball further than that. You know, and I am by no means a professional rugby player. I absolutely, that is full power. You know, little things like that. They're just going to detract. There's that animation again of the guy crawling on his knee. Is that just a new tackle animation? Doesn't look great. I'm not sure what that does. There. So that one. So that is what I think is like the driving tackle. But the reason I didn't notice them in the original video is because I feel like this tackle animation was already in. So you watch number 7 here on this tackle. We'll slow this one down. So number 10's running in. I've got the camera's a little bit locked off there. So number 10's running in. You make a big shot there. And it's like a driven back tackle. They still have to get that offload away. And that's what I think they're talking about with the driving tackle stuff. I think the thing that's still missing for me with these tackles is the fluidity of those tackles actually happening. So as he comes in, fluid, and we've stopped moving. And now we're going over here. And I think that pause detracts from, is this actually a dominant tackle? Like, if you actually just watch the number 10 here as he's running in, he actually just stops moving. So he's sprinting. I've now stopped for no reason. It's not like he's bracing and he's going to bounce into him. His momentum stops dead instantly, awaiting the arrival of number 7 for the animation to play out that he's been driven back. And I think that would have more impact if it wasn't a case that they had to like stop and wait, but instead if it was a fluid bang and then they drove him back in, so it would have more of an impact than it does at the minute, because it doesn't really stand out as that you've got a dominant, like a driving tackle. And what did the driving tackle really matter when you can just do an offload? Having this dominant tackle where I'm suddenly going to put all their, teammates offside at the ruck. They've all going to have to run back onside. I'm going to have a real good shot at taking that ruck now. It doesn't matter, because just the things that are built into the game where even after an enormous shot like that, you are still able, multiple, seconds into this animation, all the way. He's thrown it there. He's basically on the ground, and he's thrown it with a broken arm flick as well. He's able to get that away so late on an offload that it doesn't really matter that I've got that dominant tackle. So I still think there are things oh, that's a great line. Am I going to be able to get back for that one? No, just about. Held up. We got him down again. Oh, it's good defense by this guy. I have been enjoying the 5-meter defense actually recently. I feel like the AI holds back a bit from doing the just the handoff and the sidestep all the time. A kickoff going exactly how I want it. Further away, closer to me. Brilliant. This is some range now on number 10. So let's go here. Let's just put this towards that edge and see if the ball get carried back out into touch again. No, that one still seems to land exactly where it was. The box kick was the only one so far that felt like it's gone to a completely different direction. AI also has not been picking those 50-22s. They've not been going for those tactical kicks as much. They've still not gone for kicks into my 22 that have warranted me being able to call the mark. JNT did put up on the FAQ page that they've done a bit of stuff to do with the aerial contest, which they haven't been able to get in for this update, which is a shame, because I think if you land an aerial contest, mechanics well, I think it can be a lot of fun in rugby games. So I hope they look forward to that. That's another one of those that I think is like classed as like a big driving tackle there. Was able to push them back. Oh, I've got the ball. Okay, we'll make the break. Down the wing. Blair Murray's got some pace. Go for a little kick over the top. I feel like those kicking arcs are way, way lower than they used to be. So rather than do the X chip kick then, I tried to do A and hoped it would keep some more momentum. And I went for the A kick. I put it beyond the player. And he literally... It didn't even get above head height. I was looking for a bit of a longer chip kick than normal. I feel like they've adjusted the kicking arcs to be lower, which has allowed 2 now where the AI has just caught them after a kick. I'm not sure if I have the ability to catch them after a kick like that. Oops, that's a good move by number 12. Oh, that's a good try. I don't think anyone's gonna get back there. We'll go for the dime towel. That's a nice try by the AI. I have enjoyed the sort of slalom-y thing they do, where they sort of break, they sort of dodge and weave. That's a nice try. Again, it's off the back of one of those late offloads out the back of the hands. Okay. But, I feel like they had some good runs there. They sort of caught me napping a bit. and able to get over. Good try. That's what I mean. The game has got more fun in the last month, and it's nice to be able to see the AI doing stuff like that. I kind of like this. I don't know if that's like new, but like the stadium to just have the calls, or like all the scores and outside. That is something you'll experience when you go to an actual rugby game. And I like that. I kind of hope that's more uniform across the rest of the games as well, so you can hear the commentary. I don't think that's in all stadiums. That might just be in some of the newer stadiums they did at launch, but I quite like that. All right, let's drop it back. We're trying to try and go. That's a slightly better kick. It's still not really anywhere, though, is it? And I'm pretty sure that one was Sam Costello. You know, yeah, maybe I need to put less of an angle on that and aim more towards the 22. But realistically, that felt good. It felt like I did quite a powerful kick there as well. But I've literally kicked it 5 meters from the halfway line, and it's landed 5-8-ish meters away from the 22. That's basically a full power kick. You know, I'm aiming for all of this space back here and hoping to get an end-over-end bounce into touch. And instead I got it there. You know, I was hoping for it to be sort of over here with the power. I was about as much power as I was going to get out of it. And he just sort of collected it safe. I still think there's some adjustments that need to be made with the kicking there as well. Oh, can I pick it up? Got a teleport. Yep. Awesome. Incredible footballing abilities here, is it? Ricochets off his boot and he gets picked up. Let's try another turnover. That was another 5v1. Someone mentioned that on the FAQ page as well about the 5v1 turnovers, and Big Ant are aware of that it does look weird. But JT did say that it from whatever the background calculations are of how it works, I'm sure he put on there that like it is being played out correctly. Like it should be a turnover for some reason. I don't know why. But the visual itself looks very odd to have 5 people get blown out. I still can't quite understand why that one person gets away with the ball compared to my 5. I can't work out why that would be viable. There's a lot of turnovers going on in this game. And, like, I'm first in. I've secured. And then they just add players in afterwards. They get the ball. There's just, yeah, the ruck mechanics. Oh my god! I tried to call a mark. It didn't let me call the mark. Oh, and now we've thrown it into our own guy. It's scrappy. It is scrappy. I feel like a couple of things seem to have changed in this one that have made this game feel a little bit scrappier. Oh, I also can't pick the ball up with the scrum half anymore. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that in a video. The left to right on side camera, you can't pick the ball up anymore. With your scrum half, that's no longer the thing that works in the game, which is interesting. Go for a handoff. See if we can make a break. Let's just cheat to try and finish the game because we're struggling here together. Their defense has felt okay. It's just that my attack line is just so bunched. Oh, we're just... And they kick it out. They don't want to play on. Again, find that weird. Why is the AI kicking that out? I understand that there's got the extra time and stuff, but it feels so odd to just be so conceding. Like, whatever. 7-all. It feels like such a deflating feeling at the end of that. Look at my players. Can we have some width, boys? Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Yeah, something's changed in this game from what I've been playing over the last 2 weeks. It is. The ball is all over the place. Positioning feels all over the place. They are doing less 50-22s, but feels a lot more just sort of general play issues that I'm struggling to get any sort of structure. Everyone feels slow. They are offloading for fun at every single, interaction. It's absolutely fine. My guys are running. I have got... My hooker is outrunning. I've got no winger out on my wing, because of course I don't. I've got a number 10 who's running laterally across the field. Where is he going? Determined to get on the end of it. I've got a hooker making a break there. I try and throw my offload. My players are stood 10 meters deep, and they keep doing this thing where they just position someone exactly where the offload is going to go and they chest bump it away from. That's about the third time that's happened in this game. The positioning feels way off from what it's been from the last 2 weeks, where I've actually been quite enjoying the way the run of play's been feeling, and we're scoring some quite fun tries. Right, Tom Rogers got some speed. Let's make this work for us. Now back out. Johnny Williams. Run, Johnny! Run, Johnny! We'll make the break. I had to cheat with some handoffs and stuff. But let's just get this game done. Yeah, it feels a lot more clunky today, which is interesting, because they haven't said anything about adjusting positions or passing or offloads or any of that sort of stuff. They haven't said they've touched any of that. Oh, I don't even get a conversion. Just got the try. There's a garage.
Champions, Scarlets.
What did he say? We're the what champions? I don't actually know what he said then. We are the something champions. Let's jump into some thoughts and feedback on this one then. So we'll put the patch notes back up on screen. We'll sort of go through it. So resolve lineup conflicts. Not something I can test. I've never even experienced that being an issue. Do let me know in the comment section if you are aware of an issue and whether or not that's been able to be fixed, just to help other people know if that's something that's been done. Balance the 50-22s. AI now adjusts 50-22 plays proportionally by match difficulty. We've only been able to play one game to test if it works on different difficulties. Kick power better reflects player's skill. Now, there's less 50-22s, thank God, because it was a bit ridiculous, even though it made the game a little bit more exciting, but it was a bit over the top. So they only did one, I think, in that game, and it didn't feel like this perfectly poised, lovely positioning. They had to get a kick outside the 22 and it bobbled into my 22 and they got a 50-22. Great. I do think somewhere, though, that is going to tie into this next one. The balance punt kicks. Punt kick power better reflects player skill. I feel like I haven't really noticed any difference in the way the kick target thing moves. It still starts going in and sort of stammers and then carries on, which throws you off massively to judge how much power you're putting into it. I don't know if that's a graphical thing breaking on screen, or if it's meant to represent something, like your player positioning their hand on the ball to set it up so it's not quite got full power. But it feels so weird to be like, let's say you hold the power button down for 3 seconds. You hold it down for the first second and a half, and it's stuck 5 feet from your own player, just juttering backwards and forwards. And then it goes whoop, and it just zooms out. But then you've held it too long, and it starts coming back at you, and you've got a terrible kick. It doesn't seem to be something the AI suffer with either. The AI receive the ball and just instantly kick it out of their hand. They seem to not have to worry about the build-up of power and the build-up of kick. They just instantly kick it like it's pre-designed. So it doesn't feel like you've got a very fair matchup with the kicking. But the kicking power also feels really off. I had a good couple of kicks in that game there where I felt like I'm kicking the ball 20 meters. And I'm not really getting anything. We had 2 incidents where I actually tried to kick the ball over the top of someone, and it just went into their chest, and they just caught it and just took it and ran. So I can't even get that kick away anymore. It's like you have to go for full power, but the full power bar is a little bit broken and jittery. And if you do less power, they just catch the ball, and then it's their possession. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's fun. I'm already in my head going like, how do I adjust for this? How do I adjust for some interesting kicking, and how do I now play against the AI if I can't do little taps with A? I'm going to have to use X for the chip kicks now, but even like the longer range kicks, I'm struggling to find touch and put it on an angle. The box kick did also drift away from where I told it to go, which I think is nice. I like that's sort of been a thing. But yeah, the balance, the punt kicks, it keeps saying this thing with balancing. I don't feel like there's a balance in there. I don't think, especially when you've got, I understand it's a Scarlets fly half and a Wales international fly half, and Wales are hardly in terms of top, 5 ranking in the world at the minute, but you still got Sam Costello, still got a good boot on him. He's literally not able to make a 22 from the 50-meter line. Like, I actually can't kick a 50-22. I couldn't make one happen with that positioning, with my fly half, my international standard fly half. I cannot get a 50-22 because my power doesn't allow me to get there. So I still think, I don't think that's been balanced. I actually think that's got worse, in my opinion, for that one. Standardized the kick targeting, standardized kick direction input, and added inverted options. That is brilliant. As much as I've got some negative things about others, that one is brilliant. Unified. So for anyone who is wondering, the way I have it at the minute, I've currently got the invert kicking controls as disabled. And that means if you push the stick further away from your player, the ball will go further away from your player. That to me makes logical sense. I can absolutely understand if some people play inverted and they want it to be the way around, you can turn that back to inverted and play it how you want, but will now apply to all kicks. I think that's a really positive change. It's a small quality of life issue, but will instantly just make kicks feel better from like a set piece or go doing the kickoff stuff. It will just make it feel a lot better. I like that change for me. Improved commentary. Resolved unusual triggers and added lines. We weren't able to get any of those ones today where we sort of kicked it a touch and they spoke badly about it. But there were a couple of lines I've not heard before. It's been a good while since I've really listened to them. But some better interaction between the commentators talking to each other, going down to the sidelines, naming the teams correctly, which hasn't always been the case, but sort of an acknowledgement of who was playing home and away, which teams are playing, pronunciations were done correctly, naming some players and stuff. There was some good stuff going on there. That felt slightly better. I still feel like occasionally it can feel like they are literally sat there in a recording studio reading words off a page because the lines are too long. I don't think that's their fault. They're not voice actors. They are sports commentators. So it's harder to sort of gel that together if you give them difficult lines to work with. It's not quite matched up correctly. But it does feel like there's some newer lines in there and they felt nicer. I'm not someone who plays with the commentary on, but I know not everyone stood there in a room talking to themselves on a video camera. So so you guys probably play with it a lot more than I do. You can let me know if you've notice a big step with that. And then improved stability. Stability seemed fine today, which is good. No crash, no frame rate drops or anything as well. Looked all good. Yeah, just that kicking for me is they just don't seem to be able to nail that kicking of how you want it to work, and it feels so weird because box kicks feel like they've been pulled from Rugby 22, Rugby 2011. It feels like they went, how do box kicks work in those games? Let's just do what they did, and it feels great. Box kicks are the best kicking thing in this game by a mile. Kicking at post still feels just easy and rubbish, and doing the general kicking around the park with the juttery kicking, give me a trajectory line. Give me a trajectory line from the boot. How far am I kicking? Give me back what happened in Rugby 22. Give me what happened in Rugby 2011. Just do what they did. It was better. It was better. Innovation isn't improvement all the time. It still doesn't work for me. This is, I don't even know what we're on now. The 8th attempt at trying to balance kicks. That's not balanced. I can't even get a 50-22 there with that player. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section, guys. You've been playing along. If you've managed to test out this update yourselves. I don't know when this every 3-week update is starting now. Might start from now. Might be after the next one. I'm not sure what I'll do. But we'll keep an eye out for the roadmap. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and follow me over on the Twitter page as well, because I do put stuff out on there covering updates and stuff that's been going on. I hope you'll enjoy this one today, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.